stopped off here at the Buc-ee's. Picked up the Scout. Yeah, there we go. Picked up the Scout. Cashman's with me. It's secured. All right, first walk around of the new 1979 Scout. Cash. I went ahead and skipped all the parts of me getting it from where it rolled off the trailer to where it sits now. Still isn't perfect. I'm just tired of messing with it today. I'll come back out here tomorrow and finish getting it under this little canopy and out of the way. Huge shout out to the 4Runner. I used it as a fulcrum and it's pretty much a little yard tractor. Massive shout out to the Land Cruiser. I'm so impressed with how it did today, hauling this thing from Knoxville to Nashville through the Tennessee hills. Did great. I guess we'll start out here with the tires. Look at these things. Brutal. This Scout does have the automatic locking hubs. They lock going forward, but not backwards. I'll just do a quick walk around of the body and everything else. It's definitely rusty. They all are. Every single one. Came out of the factory rusty. International used to steal or store their metal outside, their sheet metal, so they literally were rusted from the factory. This one's not that bad. I've had a few of these, and this one's fine. Here, we'll go inside. I don't know what this ball hitch is doing right there. I guess somebody flat towed it, but I don't know why they do it from the hood. This is one of the highest option Scouts that I can think of. Just everything from the interior. Right, had full carpet at one point in its life. Yeah, we'll just cover that up. If you can't see it, it's not there. Seats are not bolted down. Get that out of the way. Rear seats intact. Center console. I really don't know if that's factory. I'd like to think it is. If it is, I'm going to do everything I can to save that with this Scout. But back to the options. Cruise control. Insane. 1979. Wood grain. This is the first wood grain dash that I've also seen. I'm sure that there's plenty out there. I'm just going off of my experience. Automatic transmission. Air conditioning. It does have the single fuel tank. I've had some with an auxiliary switch right here, and it has 2 fuel tanks running 1, 2, 3 actually. 2 on each side and then 1 in the rear where the normal gas tank is. Something else that I loved about this, and again, they might all have it, I'm not sure, just the ones that I've had have not, but there's the line ticket. I'm gonna pause here and blow that up, so if you want to pause and read it, you can. I think that's so cool. But just, I mean, parking brake. Oh God, should have done that. All right, well, all right. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Good for me. Oh man. Sun visors are intact. Review Mirrors intact. See if there's anything in the ashtray. Oh yeah, got some smokes in there. Gotta love that. A clock. Sweet. I don't know what any of this is. Checks. I'm not gonna show that. Oh, paperwork. New distributor in 2001. Okay, cool. Put that back in there. I will be collecting all of this information. How to obtain the right parts. Oh my God. Oh man, that's going in a picture frame. That's what I'm talking about. How cool is that? So cool. An OG title. Again, I'm not going to show that, but it's cool. That looks like some battery that he had bought, and it's like all the paperwork on that. If I find anything cool, I will stop and show it. This just looks like some personal stuff. Oop, more personal stuff. Yeah, whatever. All right. This is one of those ones with the rear glass delete. Special option. This is the first Scout that I've seen that hasn't just gotten a rust tank or a rusted tailgate. Usually they are just gone to hell. I'm going to pause this now, I guess, and pull all this out. Then I'll lay it out. All right, so just dug all the stuff out of it. In the back was the rear skid plate. That goes under the gas tank, protects the gas tank. Now that they're made out of plastic, that's going to be very important. Couple tires, metal ramps, a car cover, which will be going over this since it's got that rear window delete. My man who owned it before me loves some Coors Light, man. Can't knock him. Hard hat. Seat's not connected or mounted up, but whatever. Still, just going back to these options, like the full carpet. Look at that, we got an ant colony in here, man. Yikes. Just rusted to hell. Back to that. I stuck my nose in here, and you can see it's rusted inside and out. Again, they all are. I bought this knowing that. I'll take you under here. Oh. So no gas tank. He took it out and parked it because it was leaking from the top. So he parked it for what he claims to be 10 years. Now, it's got a license plate, a Tennessee plate. I'm gonna block out the numbers, but it was last titled in 2005. And that's a very old Tennessee plate. They do not look like that anymore. So who's to say? Rust. And underneath, rust. I do want to point something out on this though. Jump scare. There's going to be a pretty good amount of rust right here. Okay, Cash. Pretty good amount. They're all rusted right here. Whatever, it's fine. But if we keep going, the floor looks good. Like right there, it's fine. A lot of this is surface. It's still showing red. I promise. Now, you know, most of this will have to be cut out and replaced or whatever else. But like the bits, the hard shit, right here, in the interior of the doors, fine. 98% of Scouts are rusted right here and also right there. And the body mounts. Also the wheel wells, behind the wheel wells. I haven't checked that, but I'm just assuming because I know that it's going to be rusted to heck back here. No way. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right there. Now, usually carpet in cars and old cars that have been sitting outside, that's not good. But in this case, it's perfectly fine to an extent because Scouts had that rubber layer in between the carpet and the floorboards, which did a fantastic job of keeping moisture out. It's just interesting. I don't know if this thing's open or not. Okay, it's not open. Also, doesn't have a key, so it's a great start to getting this thing fired up. Nothing we can't fix, though. What do we got here? I'm wondering if that does anything. I don't want to keep messing with stuff that I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I was fiddling around and the hood release is broken, so I had to... Okay, seat's not on the base either. Anyways, I had to get some pliers out and fiddle with it. So first look at the engine. Corvette style hood, you know what it is. Boom. International 345. Can't wait to get all this cleaned up tomorrow. AC, and a very important piece of this AC is the bracket. Sorry, Cash was freaking out. This is the pulley bracket. They don't make that with the kits that you can buy online. Power steering, let's go. Extremely rusted battery compartment unit, whatever you want to call it. Extremely rusted. Ate the entire inner fender. I can't wait to get this cleaned up and really see what we're looking at, which I'm saving for tomorrow, so I have something to do because it's Sunday. Man, that engine's big. It's such a pretty engine too when it's all cleaned up. I think it's pretty because it's so different. Nothing about it makes sense. That's a good sign. Rusted brake booster. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume, because you saw the underside, that every single piece of the brake and fuel system just needs to get redone. Probably all these hoses too. And I know there's not a chance that air conditioner works. But all things that can be fixed or bought. Cooling system too. Take a gamble on that. Previous owner told me when he parked it, like 2 years later, his teenage sons at the time wanted to get it going, drained all the old oil out of it, and took the battery out, all the fluids out, and then never replaced them. Sketchy words whenever you're buying a car, but honestly, I don't care. If it works, I'm going to enjoy it the way it sits. If I can get this running, the plan would be to drive it rusted, clapped out, and just redo the suspension, fuel system, make it a good, decent driver. Never have a top on it. Buy that 3-piece roll bar, little Bimini top, and then just park it in here and then drive it, when it's pretty outside. That's the plan if it all works. And then slowly, replace the body panels, make it pretty, whatever else. But if I could, or if it doesn't get running, there's going to be a plan B, which would be a full build on it. Replace that. Something a little more powerful. Golly, I'm just now seeing this dent. Surely it's an easy pop, but yikes. And then, make it pretty, sink some money into it. It's got a title. There's plenty of parts around me. I'm excited about it. So, more to come. Tomorrow, she gets a bath. And then we really get to know what we're looking at. I'll probably take all the carpet and interior out of it, toss that away. But more to come. Cool down. I'm ripping out the trim here so I can just take all the carpet out. and the screws are really rusted in, so I'm having to take a cut-off wheel and cut into the screw, and then use this giant screwdriver and pull them out. Slow process, but it's going to be nice just to have all this trim still in good condition. All right, trim pieces are out. I'm not even going to look at it yet. Now I'm just going to take out these seat bases. 4 bolts per seat base. I'm going to try to cut around the seat belt mounts. I don't want to even start taking those out. And then 3 bolts on each side of the back seat. Seat bases are out. I've got that side of the rear seat base out. This one, I've just got one last bolt right back there. It is stripped. And shoot it with some PB Blaster and just let it marinate. I was starting to get burnt out on it, so I'm just gonna rip out this front carpet and come back to it. So here it is before, and I'm gonna rip it out and show you the after. So the floors are not as bad as I thought. Oh, shit. And here she is with the carpet out. Hit up the shop vac a little bit. Really not as bad as I've seen them. Little screwdriver test. I mean, come on. Yes, sir. And come back over here to the passenger side. A little bit worse. Looks like water ran down. Oh gosh. And, no, it's not bad. Oh yeah. Okay, so I think this is still worth cleaning up and throwing some patches in. Honestly, I'm pumped about it. Look at the trans tunnel. It looks awesome. I bet this paint was so good looking when it was new. This off-white top. Woo. Fresh. All right, so next step is to get back to this bolt because I want to get this seat out. I want to save this rubber mat, use that as a floor template for later on. I did save the rubber mats from the front side for the same purpose. Yes, they're in shambles, but I could find a use for tracing it. Gonna have to get creative with that bolt, but I'm gonna work on doing that and we'll report back. Okay. Got the rear seat out. Found a couple things under it worth mentioning. A distributor cap that was wedged in between the seat and the floor pan, and it got caught under the floor pan and it stopped the rear seat from folding up, so that's why it was hard to get those rear bolts out. Even when it broke off, it made it very hard. And also this Tupperware box, which we're gonna open this together. I think it's got a fork in it, so I'm sure that it was some lunch. Oh God, it was. Oh, who knows? So now I'm ready to get this rubber mat out. Well, it appears a certain dog has gotten to my work gloves. I've only got one left, so thank you, Cash. So this is cool, and something I'm just now noticing is this has the spare tire mount in the rear. Spare tire would have sat right here, and actually you can see this carpet pattern where they kept a spare tire bolted in. So how neat is that? Also, this was behind the carpet. 1996 tag. This is cool. This is going to look cool in my shop. 1796 and 1996. I was 2 years old when that came out. Alright, back to it. Tell you what. Insides of these fenders rust out like it's nothing. So easy. They have like this cotton foam inside of them. Here's some. You just hold moisture and stuff, and again, like I was talking about, International stored their metal outside, so all of it is just prone to rusting. But someone already cut that. That's awesome because I can get on the inside of these fenders and spray with rust reformer. And there's already an entryway back here. Just protect what's left of these fenders. Something, I'll just weld that back up. I won't do nothing. But I'm about to get the vacuum, get rid of these ants. Get back to it. Looks pretty bad here in the back. One thing that is a positive is wheel wells, perfect. The sides where you weld the floors in, perfect. Up here, just this seam where the rear floor pans and the front floor pans connect, perfect. There's 2 inches of space to play with. I've replaced floor pans. It sucks. I don't think this one will. And I'm sitting here saying that I'm not actually cutting into the metal and welding and everything, but it's all so square in here. And there's so much good metal to play with that I don't think that this will be that bad. Now, buying this, I thought all the floors were bad. Thought everything was bad. So this is a positive. I think I can patch most of the front. I don't think that'll be too hard. And I'll just put new floor pans here in the rear. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be anywhere near perfect, but it's just going to be a little bit better, sturdier. I'm not going to be afraid of falling through, or God forbid if it were to ever get in a wreck or something, it's just going to give it that much more rigidity. Fun stuff. And also buying this, I knew that the rears were going to be terrible. Every single Scout had, unless it was stored in a garage forever, has rust right here behind the wheel wells. You know you're going to replace that whenever you buy one. And this one didn't have that back glass and sat outside for X amount of years. And where that rubber mat does an awesome job of protecting the floors from the elements. It's got this stuff under it, this little in between stuff, the floor and the rubber mat, that carpety stuff. It just holds in moisture. So I'm sure that had a pretty big factor in it. All in all, we're in better condition than I thought. So, the Scouts I've owned have just been much worse than this one. So, good stuff. All right, storms are coming in. I was going to pressure wash, but now I'm just going to button everything back up. I think that's a sign to call it for today. So, next time, I'm going to pressure wash inside and the outside, and then start fooling around with the engine, see if we can get it running, or at least close to it, get a turnover.